And hello, welcome everybody. This is Key Life's Booksgiving 2022. My name is Matthew Porter. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. If I just tuned in to this, my first question would be, what is this? And why is it here on YouTube or Facebook? Fair question. This is a thing. It's the third year we've done it, and now I think that officially has to count as tradition. Booksgiving is just to say thank you. It's to say thank you for supporting Key Life. Thank you for listening to our radio shows and podcasts. Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Thanks for hanging out and interacting with us on social. And most of all, thank you for your prayers and for your financial contributions, the things that really help us do what we do. Um, so it's good to say thank you. It's also even better to show thanks. And just as a small way of doing that, we created Booksgiving, where we just give away books. If you've ever seen the show, you might be aware we talk to a lot of authors. Those authors obviously have books, and so we have books. We would like to put them into your hands. How can you claim one? Super easy, no strings attached. And I'm going to tell you in about 60 seconds. If you give me 60 seconds, I'll tell you how to get in on getting yourself a free book. Before that, I want to introduce my co-host for Booksgiving 2022, my brother from another mother, the ace to my base, the IT guy for the IT wise, Mr. John Myers. Welcome, John.
Hey, what's going on? How's it going today?
Good, good, good. Glad
Good.
to have you with me on this. This is great stuff. And John and I are going to be hanging out with you. And John is doing a very important job besides running all the technical stuff that he always does. This is interactive. So if you're watching on Facebook, drop us a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, drop us a comment. Let us know. I don't know, where are you watching from? Drop us an emoji that represents how you feel about Thanksgiving this year. Just give us a shout, and we may put it up here on the screen. John may hit the button to do that. But let's hang out. Let's have fun. This will be 30 minutes. Just listen. It's the Friday before Thanksgiving week, and it's lunchtime. Can we be honest? You weren't doing anything productive anyway. So let's just chill. Let's hang. Um, Also, one other thing I wanted to mention is over on our YouTube page, keylife dot YouTube .com/Key Life Network. We have a poll going. So if you go to the community page, you'll see that poll, and it's a classic question. What's your favorite Thanksgiving food? Do you like turkey, ham, stuffing? Stuffing is making a strong showing, I have to say. Turkey's out in front. Stuffing is not a distant second. And still at zero, dessert. What? What? And not surprising, round slab of cranberry sauce, still with a goose egg. Okay. So anyhow, Booksgiving 2022, free books. How do you get your book? Go to keylife.org/booksgiving. Keylife.org/booksgiving. There's just a little thing. Hey, here's my name. Here's where to mail the book. And that's it. No strings, no gotchas, no whatever. We just want to put some books into your hands. And that's it. Which books are you getting? Completely random. Completely random. But it will be from authors who we've had here on the show. And we've had some really good ones. And I just have just a rando stack of books right here. We have, maybe you'll get this book, A Daring Faith in a Cowardly World, Ken Harrison. We had him on the show a couple months ago. This is the guy who is the president of the newly revamped Promise Keepers. I don't know about John. This guy was like, he's like a former cop. He just feels like he should be the president of a men's group. He's just like really like has a presence. You're like, oh gosh, I need to go do some push-ups or something. I feel inadequate here. And I gotta be honest, this book, I was like, okay, this is gonna be some trite stuff. I mean, it's gonna be, biblically correct, but it good stuff, really good stuff. I was pleasantly surprised by the content in this book. Another guy we've had on a couple times, we like him a whole lot, from Mockingbird, David Zoll, Low Anthropology. The Matthew Cliff's Notes version is do yourself a favor, have not lowered expectations, accurate expectations of yourself and others. And if you do that, then you will discover that life goes a lot better for you, a lot more joy, a lot more peace. So go to keylife.org/booksgiving, put in your information. Maybe we'll send this to you. John,
Yep.
should we do a little Thanksgiving trivia? Or
Well,
people are
before,
weighing
before
in
we do
on?
that, you asked some people
Yeah.
where they were from, and
Yes.
Nicole says she's from Central Illinois, so visiting us
Hey,
from there.
Nicole.
And Deanna is from Knoxville, Tennessee, watching on her lunch break. So thanks for joining us
Knoxville
on your
represent.
lunch.
Yeah, thank you, Deanna. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Nicole. Listen, if you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube, just drop a comment and yeah, let us know where you're watching. Let us know. Are you going anywhere for Thanksgiving? Do you have any destinations? We're going up to Northwest Florida, and I'll tell you what, another great question. Do you have a favorite guest that we've had here on Steve Brown, etc. this year? We've had quite a few people. We have oh gosh, we do one a week. We've had Dan Allender. We've had Philip Yancey. Who else? Brant Hansen. Great, I love Brant Hansen, and Steve adores Brant Hansen. All the Ortlands. There's at least three of them. I don't know if it's like the Osmonds or the Baldwins. There's just so many Ortlands, and they all write books. Michael Card, Eric Shoemaker. These are just a couple of the highlights, and that Hugh Ross. Uh, Good stuff. I mean, Jared Wilson showed up at least twice this year.
Yeah, we've had a great year this year for
So
sure for Steve Brown,
yeah,
etc.
it's been really
Videos.
good. We
By
would
the
love.
way,
Yeah.
just to the audience listening in, just figured out we had a technical issue on YouTube. I made some mistakes. I'll take full responsibility.
Mistakes were made.
So you couldn't make comments. So now, if I don't know if you have to refresh the page or not, you may have to refresh the page, but then commenting should work now. So that is completely my fault. But hopefully we're on the right track now. So back to Jerry says he's listening from San Francisco, so we got all the way from the other side of the state.
All right, San
and
Fran,
and then Key Biscayne, our where Key Life was born and raised.
where
So
it started.
back to St. Augustine. Actually, I didn't finish that, but yep. So great stuff.
All right, and I see Hannah says I love Dan Allender. Who does not
Yes.
love Dan Allender? What a sweetheart of a man. He just feels like he's really listening, which I guess if you're a counselor, that's a good skill set to have. So keep the comments coming, and remember to go to the address at the bottom of the screen, keylife.org/booksgiving. Let us send you a random book. It might be relevant. It might change your life. Might be completely irrelevant, and you have a big old laugh. And people say, "Why do you have that book?" Tell them the story. While you're here, can I plug a couple things? Can I just? Yeah. All right. We have an app that Mr. Myers has so amazingly developed and improved for us. If you go to the App Store, the Apple App Store, if you go to Google Play, it's available for Apple, for Android. It's just look for Key Life. Is it Key Life, John, or Key Life Network? Does it matter?
Key Life. I think
Key Life.
Just Key Life. Yeah.
Just Key Life.
Double checking that right
and
now.
For more information, keylife.org/app, keylife.org/app. Everything that's on the website, you're like, now it's on your phone. So it's really great. You can even use the app to send us a prayer request, and those get distributed and sent around every single week. That stuff gets prayed for because we take that very seriously. So yeah, check out the app, give it a try. And when you sign up for that, it says, hey, can we send you messages once or twice a week? Try it. I just hit yes. Give us a chance to earn your attention on that. Chad handles that stuff for us, and he's just amazing with it. So keylife.org/app. This is Booksgiving 2022. Against the odds, we have done this 3 years in a row. I think basically based on plausible deniability. We do this on a Friday afternoon. Nobody knows what's going on, and by the time they find out, we're off the air. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. Grab a book, and that'll be great. So I have some Thanksgiving trivia here. I'm going to give you two of them, and I'm going to give you the answer to one of them now. And then one, I want you guys to guess in the comments. So here's the first one. How many cranberries are in 1 pound? And you can't Google this. Don't ruin it for everybody.
Oh
How
gosh.
many cranberries are in 1 pound? Put your guess in the comments on Facebook and YouTube. Let us know. The
Oh, is that on my end or your end? I'm not sure. I think you're frozen there, Matthew.
Oh boy, I'm gonna talk to our
Okay.
IT guy. Are you there? All right.
I'm here.
So, all right. So let us know how many cranberries are in 1 pound. John, what's your guess on that?
I want to know, more importantly, how much cranberry sauce do you have to eat to gain 1 pound? You know,
Oh,
if
yeah, that's a good one.
yeah.
All right, so we'll come back to
Geez,
that
I
one.
don't know. Maybe 60. I don't know. Just throwing a number
Okay.
out there.
All right, John's on the record for 60. So we'll circle back. Don't let me forget, John. But you guys put in
Okay.
your numbers. Nicole says 130. Okay. All right. Very, very good. So we have a 60. We have 130. Um, so here's a question, John. You can answer this one too. How long was the Mayflower's voyage from England to America?
You know,
I would
I'm not gonna
I would
lie.
never guess this.
I had to repeat one of my my American history course. So I'm
Yes,
probably the wrong person to ask this. 165 days.
close. Only off
Wow.
by
Okay.
100 days.
Ah, gee.
66
Wow.
days.
66 days. Okay.
Still better than traveling by Spirit Airlines. Um, and, and
That is
and this is
exactly
from the
right.
internet, so you can trust me. These are all
Yes,
100% accurate. No need
because the
to
internet is
verify.
infallible. Yep.
Yes, thank you, internet.
uh, man, as the IT guy, this is really bothering me.
Uh, we should I stop downloading the internet and
Yeah,
do my
yeah.
Bitcoin mining?
If
That
you'll
was a
if you'll
mistake. I realize that now.
you're trying to get that latest copy of Black Panther, aren't you? Is that what it is?
That's right.
The one with Chinese subtitles on it? Yep, I know what you're
That's right.
doing.
It's good. It's in Mandarin, but it still translates.
Yeah.
It's still really good. Anyhow, we're giving away books. These books, lots of books. Go to keylife.org/booksgiving. Put in your information. I promise we're not going to sell it to anybody. We just want to send you a book for free. We'll even cover shipping. Thanks, Matthew. It's no problem. I was happy to help. What other folks do we have on this year? Jared Wilson. We mentioned him. He's been on at least twice. This is a show that's actually coming up. So this is a little devotional. I don't know about you, but when Christmas happens, I always have really great intentions of sitting down every day, kind of getting my head to settle down and thoughts to settle down and just wrap my head around the idea of God with us. And sometimes it works and sometimes it don't work. And what this is 25 little devotionals, little bite-sized thing. It's not devotional things, and each one cleverly is named. That each chapter is a phrase from a popular Christmas hymn or carol. So the first one's called "A Thrill of Hope," and chapter 13 is called "His Gospel is Peace." So when you go to keylife.org/booksgiving, maybe this is the book that we will drop in the mail to you. We also had, again, I think twice this year, Chris Denbeston, big, successful business guy. He owns and runs a massively successful. That's what you say in the non-social world. Successful business, construction sales business. But in the course of his life, I don't know, 15 or 20 years ago, anyhow, one of his daughters went through absolutely tragic and completely unexpected medical emergency. And what he learned and his family learned and went through went into this book. I it's very emotional, but very powerful. And he was on the show with us. Look that up if you would. And yeah, a lot to gain from what they learned in that experience. So
Well, he was on with us twice actually, because unfortunately
yeah,
we left the first show in a cliffhanger, and everybody assumed that his daughter had passed away, and we wanted to
right.
let him wrap
Spoiler:
up his.
she
Yeah,
didn't.
she didn't.
I
Yeah,
don't think I could.
and so
I don't think I could do that.
yeah, that was
Conversation, but
interesting.
she did, and she's thriving. But the in between, pretty hairy stuff. And gosh, she's just so vulnerable and transparent with what they went through. So yeah, a lot of good stuff. We have authors from all different walks of life. Um, as we're talking, just a heads up, we're going to
Well, since
for Thanksgiving.
Matthew,
You
oh,
there?
yep, you're frozen again. Yep, that's okay. Hang on, we'll just while we're waiting on you to link back up here, we'll do some other check-ins here. We got from Switzerland, all the way from Switzerland. We have Dago, I believe is how you would pronounce that,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
that's
Hey, I
amazing.
know.
And then also we have some Massachusetts. We have Jerry. Um,
Massachusetts.
some people were talking about
Great.
up here. Where were we at here? Rosanna was saying how great our guests are, and the one where we were teaching about where babies come from, they really enjoyed that. That was
Oh
Justin
yeah.
Holcomb. So a good way to talk to your kids about how babies are created. He has a great book out there that would help you maybe bridge those gaps of unknowledge, because I know I'm coming up on my 8-year-old, trying to figure out how to properly talk to him about these things, and definitely going to be going through that book and making sure that I have some guidance in that way, because there's a lot of parents know. I mean, us none.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah. We had a conversation with our oldest this year, and I'm like, I got this. I've done everything. And when you finally actually sit down, you're like, oh, okay. Uh, here we go. And it worked out great, but it's a little awkward. So you lean into it. But the
yeah.
Holcomb's book, you're right, John, just so well done. And the point is not particulars. That book is a lot about the bigger story of God loves to create things, and He even creates things who create things. It's worth a try. Justin and Lindsay do such good work, so check that out.
One of the things he
Um,
said in
yeah,
that really stood out to me is only give them what they crave. Like
yeah,
initially you're thinking, okay, we're gonna sit down, you're gonna explain the whole thing, and then they're walking away with these huge eyes, going, "What in the world is all this going on?" And with him, it was kind of like just kind of feed them what they need, and then they'll
right,
take that, and then they'll come back later on and ask for the next step of things. So yeah,
yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
It's really good, really, really good. Um, so anyhow, yeah, Tuesday after Thanksgiving, it's a de facto holiday that has evolved in the last, I don't know, 10 years, called Giving Tuesday, and far be it from us to not put our hat out as well, because well, upwards of 10%. No, sorry, it's more than that. A significant portion of the money that Key Life takes in happens literally in the last month of the year. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that. We'll be putting that on social and everything, but that'll be at keylife.org/giving Tuesday. If you're just joining us, Booksgiving 2022, we're giving away books. Go to keylife.org/booksgiving. We will drop a book in the mail to you. Give us a shout if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. We've got people from Massachusetts, Oklahoma. I have to say, we had a guest a couple weeks ago from Massachusetts, and anytime I hear a new city from Massachusetts, I go look it up because I know there's an 80% chance it's not pronounced the way you think it's pronounced, and I don't want to look like a dum dum. So look it up. And so our guy, I think, was from Watertown. So I did all this YouTube and you research, and it's just pronounced Watertown. So False alarm, everybody. Hey, before a little bit before we were talking about a little trivia, and still time to get in your answer. The question is, how many cranberries does it take to add up to 1 pound? I want to know who gets the closest. John weighed in with his answer. Nicole told us her answer. Don't look it up. Drop us your best guess, and before we wrap up here in about 10 minutes, I will drop the earth-shattering answer on you. And don't forget, we have our poll going over on youtube.com/keylife. Let me see how we're looking. We're talking about our favorite foods.
YouTube, twitter.com, right?
youtube.com/keylife network. I said it wrong. If you go to the community page, you'll find the poll, and it's what's your favorite Thanksgiving food. Turkey's pulling away. It's off and running, which is not surprising. But weigh in with what your favorite food is. I'm not a fan of turkey. The 364 days a year. Sorry, I take that back. Thanksgiving week, the whole week, I'm down. I'm down with the bird, and but not a fan. But I guess typically the rest of the year we don't make it the fancy kind, so I don't know. I actually had a piece of trivia about the turkeys from over here, and it was from Benjamin Franklin, and he had a quote about the turkey. It said, which U.S. founding father famously called turkeys a bird of courage? It's not really trivia anymore because I told you the answer ahead of time. Benjamin Franklin calls a turkey a bird of courage. And I wonder if like he's low-key making a joke because he's going, it's not chicken. You get it? Excuse me. I'm going to go invent everything. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past Ben Franklin working out the comedy material on this.
Right.
So anyhow, Booksgiving 2022 may well be the last one ever. You never know. You can't take it for granted.
If anybody finds out we're doing it, right?
Yes, if they do. Another author we had on Steve Brown, etc. This year was Andrew Farley. This dude, he gets grace just about as good as anybody we talk to. Just a genuinely good dude. He has a radio show that's like weeknights, like every weeknight. I would at least take that off on Thursday nights for Thursday Night Football, but he does it. And the grace message, and you talk about like just being just the basics. And you're like, yeah, I know the basics. You're like, man, if you roll your eyes at the basics, then read this book because it just kind of tees up again what God's grace is all about. And you're like, oh my gosh, yes, that is why we call it amazing. It's just a great reminder, just short chapters. It's just a really easily digestible book, but such good stuff and way on point. Love Andrew Farley. This is one that we had just a couple weeks ago. Trevin Wax, again, a repeat guy we've had before. The Thrill of Orthodoxy. This guy's basically is definitely on board with the basic stuff and saying, listen, you don't need the basic stuff still works. We don't need to improve on basic Orthodox theology. Let's stick with that. In fact, nothing is more boring than creating your own version of Christianity because all you're after is comfort. And how exciting is comfort? You're like, oh, all right. So go to keylife.org/booksgiving. We're giving these books away. We'd be happy to drop one in the mail to you for free. Nothing, no kickers, no gotchas, no
shipping, no nothing, no nothing.
Yeah, no, you're not okay. Now pay $5.99 shipping. Thanks. No,
we're covering all that
for free. But like today, this weekend, while supplies last. Caveat. But do it. And when you get it, give us a shout back. Let us know what book you got and if you liked it and what you thought. Hey, while we're here, you may be doing some shopping between now and the end of the year. Maybe. Happens. If you're doing that, there's a website. I don't know if you've heard of it, but I wanted to tell you about it. It's called Amazon. Am I pronouncing it correctly, John? Amazon?
Amazon. Yeah, I think that's right. I think I've
Amazon.
heard of that.
All right. I'm going to trust that that's a correct pronunciation. If you will go to keylife.org/Amazon Smile, here's the cool thing that you could do. It probably takes, I don't know, 1 or 2 minutes to clicky click, fill out the stuff. What happens is you shop on Amazon like you normally would. There's no difference in price. You're not paying anything more, but they take a little bit of every single purchase and kick it our way. And it's not a ton of money, but it's extra money that keeps the lights on, that keeps us able to um, do stuff like we do. And I know we've plugged Steve Brown, etc., quite a bit, but also be aware on of the other programs we do. There's Key Life. If you're not familiar with that, that's heard along with Steve Brown, etc., on around 257 stations around the country on the Salem Radio Network. Key Life is a daily 15-minute Bible teaching program. It's Steve doing what Steve does, which is teach the Bible and tell stories. He is so good at that, and we are so blessed to have him doing that. So if you go to keylife.org, you'll find all of our programs. There's also a thing we started this year called Simply Sermons, and it is sermons from around 2013 up to today, and it's full length sermons from Steve, no interruptions. They're digitally remastered, which sounds just fancy to say. Um, and that's it. So if you're on a drive, you're driving somewhere over the Thanksgiving holidays, over Christmas, whatever, you're going to the gym, uh, throw it on. There's no interruptions, and you get the full stuff. It's great. We do every Friday post new sermons from Steve on YouTube, but this is just kind of a different way of experiencing it, and you can subscribe to get those through whatever podcast platform you choose. John, offhand, what are some platforms where you can find that?
Deezer, iTunes, iHeartRadio. I think all the. I think there's a list there. Hang on one second. Keylives.org/ um, uh, simply sermons. And then I'm like,
Yeah,
where does it go?
yeah,
Oh yeah, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Deezer, all the. It basically goes everywhere. We try to get it everywhere out. And if there's one that's missing, if you just want to drop us an email to keylife or Steve at
yeah.
keylife.org, let us know. Hey, I listen on this, and your podcasts are not on that. Let us know. Hey, we'd love to get our podcasts anywhere it makes sense for you to be able to hear our stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I should have just said keylife.org/simply sermons. John did go to the trouble of creating a lovely page, so just go to that address. We're actually going to wrap up in just the next few minutes. So if you haven't given us a shout yet on your guess for the number of cranberries it takes to make 1 pound, enter that. I'm going to tell you that in like 2 minutes, and I think you'll be surprised. Hey, if you're watching us on YouTube, youtube.com/Key Life Network, why don't you just move that cursor over, hit that subscribe button, and hit yes for notifications. What does that do? That just lets you know as soon as we have new stuff up, which is once or twice a week. It just gives you the heads up. And also, in some magical technical way that I don't understand, it also probably lets other people know about what we do. So every like, every subscribe, every share, as simple as that is, it helps multiply the ministry that we do here. So yeah, check that out. I'm going to give you one last plug for what we're doing for Booksgiving, and then I'm going to give you the answer to that trivia question, and then we're going to shut this thing down and let you get back to your day. This is Booksgiving 2022. Third year we've done it. We're just giving away books, and books like this from Roger Parrott. He is the president of, I want to say, Belhaven College. It's a college in Mississippi. This is anything about leadership I lean in. I'm interested, and his approach to leadership is different, to say the very least. He's like, back off of your planning, be clear on your mission, and then just stop and listen to God. I'm like, yeah, okay. So he made a very good case. So you can find that episode on Steve Brown, etc. So maybe this is one of the books we'll send you. And again, last call. We'll do this for today, and I don't know, however long John says it's okay to do until supplies run out. keylife.org/booksgiving. Give us your name, give us an address. We'll send one of these lovely books to you free of charge. And yeah, that's it. John, you said your guess was how many cranberries to make 1 pound? You said 60.
Yeah. Yep. I
You
think it
were
was 60.
close. It's 440.
I was nowhere near close. Matter of fact, Nicole wins that one. I don't win that one.
Yeah,
Nicole said
Nicole
130. So
wins.
Nicole, you're the winner. By the way, for winning, you get a free book. Just go to
You get a book.
keylife.org
You get a book. Everybody gets books.
/booksgiving, and we'll send you a free book right away.
I love it. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us. This was way more fun than we should be allowed to have on a Friday afternoon. Yeah, keylife.org/booksgiving. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for everything you do that keeps this ministry going. Supporting our stuff, listening, praying, and of course, yeah, your financial gifts help as well. So thank you for all of that. Thank you for watching. As I always say, when I get to guest host Steve Brown, etc., be safe and stay dangerous. And of course, happy Thanksgiving.